Hey everybody, this is Mike with One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm playing one I've been really anticipating, Core of Discovery. I did a preview of this last year and one of my favorite games of the year, so very happy to get back to it. And a disclaimer that I was sent a deluxe review copy of the game, so a lot of the components are wood and such, just to make clear that there are two versions, and if you buy the basic version, you won't have the same exact stuff. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So in the original preview I did, they wanted each content creator to cover a different one of the expansions, so I did actually like a more advanced scenario. So for this one, I'm bringing it back to basics and playing the first kind of scenario set that they expect you to play after the tutorial, which is called the Fauna set. Basically, in this one, we're fighting some minotaurs. Now, there are multiple different maps, even more if you got the Kickstarter version. And this game has kind of been described as solo or cooperative Minesweeper, in that we have a map underneath these wooden pieces here, and as we explore and take turns in the game, we're going to be pulling these things off. And then we've got these logic rules that are followed by the terrain in the map. So for example, water spaces are always orthogonally adjacent to wood spaces, at least one, and vice versa. Or fruit spaces are always diagonally adjacent to teepees and vice versa. So we'll be exploring and trying to sort of figure out what things are based on those rules to survive in the wilderness. And a lot of our efforts are going to be just focused on survival because we have these challenge cards we have to deal with, 3 per day, and each of them has a number in the upper right, which is how many turns we get to resolve before the challenge card kind of comes due. And then you can either pay its cost here to resolve the pass side, or you just resolve the fail side and negative things happen. One of the most common ones being losing water. If you ever need to pay a water cost and you're out of water, then you've all died of thirst. And then similarly, at the end of every day, you get this end of day step where you have to feed your troops. And if you don't have food, at least one food, then you die. So those are kind of the primary loss conditions. And the winning condition, again, depends on which set you're playing. But as it says for Fauna, we have to kill 3 minotaurs. And Fauna also has its own special rules going on. They've got these forts we need to find. Those are going to give us these little cards called Kill Minotaur cards, look like this, that are going to tell us how to kill a minotaur. So we need to find the forts, find the minotaurs, although they're going to spawn pretty much automatically whether we want to find them or not, and then kill 3 of them, and that's how we win the game. We win immediately if we can accomplish that. And to show you my setup, so for true solo, you can play a single character. Basically, what changes up is how many gear cards you have. So I've picked Clark of Lewis and Clark. This is from the Manifest Destiny comic series, which I've heard is awesome. Off the Pages Games always does things based on like books and comics, and I love it. So he's got the leader ability. I can exhaust him to swap 1 gear from reserve and add to my play area. So at the beginning of the game, each player is picking from this big set of gear cards, and all the remaining ones go into what's called the reserve. So I can swap one out to like get the item I need. And the coolest thing about it is, the reason this ability is really good, is I can swap out an exhausted gear card and bring in an unexhausted gear card. So it's kind of like I get an extra gear card use. I also picked, I think I might have used this in my preview, I always love this one, the compass. Exhaust before I explore, basically before I examine one of those Minesweeper-esque spaces. If I correctly guess the terrain I'm about to explore, discard the path token, which means it becomes a free turn, because usually you're taking these like little wooden path tokens and putting them on the current spot to, again, count down to the challenge coming due. Then I've got a nice one for resources. Jar, place 1 resource, not water, from the supply board onto this card and exhaust it. And then at night, I get that resource back plus 1 more of the same type. So if I have like an extra resource floating around, I can double it up. And then finally, tracking guide is a little bit expensive, but it might be useful. It's kind of like the compass. Exhaust after I explore. I do not gain the resource or water I would have gained from exploring the space, but I discard the path token and explore again. So it gives me a free turn at a cost, whereas the compass is a free turn just free, but only if I guess correctly of what the terrain is, so I'll have to really use that logic. And just to note a few things, so we've got the goal here, kill 3 minotaurs. The peak is labeled, here actually I can flip it over. It's a space that I haven't gone to yet, but I can see where the like highest point of the mountains is sticking up. So I know that if I explore that, I will get a mountain, which will get me a stone resource. And additionally, really important logic thing, all the mountains are connected in one big mountain range. They are unpassable, and they're not on the edge. So I'm like pretty sure that some of these are going to be mountains, and they're going to like kind of spread out from there. So knowing where the peak is shows me where I need to go towards if I want stone, or what I want to avoid if I don't need stone. And then for this scenario, I'm going to start on column 7. Like here's a kind of a river picture here, so we're supposed to be landing from the river. And forts are going to be next to mud and water. You can rotate this, but not flip it. So they're all, well, I guess actually you can flip this one because it's a vertical thing, but like there are some where it's like more of like a little like three-way pattern and flipping it would not work. But yeah, so that's how I'm going to find the forts that tell me how to kill the minotaurs. And let's quickly look at our challenges before we start playing. So the approach to the arch challenge is like kind of the easy challenge that you always start with. You get 5 turns to resolve it. If you discard a wood, you get a food. If you don't discard a wood, you get a food anyway, and you lose a water. So really, when I've played in the past, I sometimes would just ignore the wood cost because wood can be harder to get than water sometimes. And then I've got rats in the walls. I would need to discard a skull, which means I've found like a monster lair and a vine and a water. And if I do, I get what's called these suck, a sample, which just takes up space in my backpack until I spend a resource to get rid of it or water. So yeah, not fun. That's my benefit for dealing with the rats. I guess they've bitten through our supplies. But if I fail, I lose 3 water and still get the sample. So again, it's kind of a question. Do I care more about vines and skulls or water? But clearly, if I just keep on losing water, I'm going to lose the game. And then very interesting one. I don't know if I'll be able to get the full reward for this one in just one day, but bug infestation. In 3 turns after these, I need to have 2 mud. And if I do, I get another sample. They're still biting through things. But if I've built a shelter, I actually gain water. Woohoo! But building a shelter means I need to find a specific terrain type, which are these fields. And I need to spend 2 different resources out of skull, mud, and wood. So I need to have 2 mud and that to gain the bonus. I mean, either way, spending the mud would stop me from losing 2 water, but clearly it would be amazing to gain water. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, you will notice, by the way, that since you get a free food no matter what from Approach the Arch, you always have a free food for the end of the day in the first day, unless something makes you lose it. So let's jump in. All right, so I'm not going to use any powers for my first turn. Clearly, I can't really use the compass to guess when I don't know anything. I have to come from column 7. I don't need rocks for anything at the moment. So let's go like maybe here-ish. And, oh, I got a hill. Okay. So hills are cool in that they give me some information and it's different in each scenario and they don't count as a turn. So actually I'm going to discard that sun instead of putting it on the challenge board. Sun being the other side, just to explain what I'm talking about. Now, what hills are telling me in this scenario is how many forts are in the matching row and column total. So if there's like a fort somewhere here, then there are no forts here. If there's a fort here, there's no forts here. But it's really nice that it's just a free turn. But now every exploration I do now has to go orthogonally from existing explored things. So like you don't actually have a location for your character. Like if I explore boom, 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 I could go right back to here without like spending any movement. But it does mean that I have to build out from here. So I don't know. Let's go left and kind of go into the heart of things a bit. Oh, I got a water. Nice. So I put the sun token here. That's the first of 5 to trigger that Approach the Arch thing. And I'm getting almost full of water. Interesting. And now, as a pause for a second, logic-wise, I know that this or this or this have to be wood, one of the 3, and actually it could be more than one because wood is always adjacent to at least one water, but they can like share the same water. Now, mud is always adjacent to water and rocks, but that's not a shared logic. Like, notice that this one has the arrows going around, so water does not have to be adjacent to mud, and I mean, the mountain is very far away, so I think it is very unlikely that that's mud. Now, interestingly, look at this. The fauna says that it's water, fort, mud, and there's 1 fort in this row or column. So there's a not insignificant chance that this is a fort and then this is mud, which would be awesome to discover. So let's go for it. I'm not going to use the compass yet because I really don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Ah, that's wood. Okay. And that's the first resource for my backpack. Nice. I also now have it for Approach the Arch, although my water is pretty good at the moment, so I might just let the water go. To talk briefly about the backpack, it can hold up to 6 things, but if at the end of each challenge card, this is when you check this, after you resolve the pass or failure, if you have 5 or 6 items, you're fatigued, and you either have to discard items until you get down to 4, or you need to spend 1 water, which clearly is not great. But if we build that shelter that I was also talking about for the bug infestation, you don't have a fatigue penalty anymore. You can have as many items as you want in your backpack. All right, but getting back to here, do I know anything? I don't think I know anything, because nothing is like next to hills necessarily. The wood's already next to water. The water's already next to wood. Now, again, they could be next to more water and wood, but I don't have any like reason to be sure about that. Now, there is a rule about wood that there's only 1 per row and 1 per column. So I know that like none of this is wood and none of this is wood. That's about all I got. All right. Yeah, I don't really know much of anything, do I haven't found a teepee for fruit. And yeah, like vines have to be in the same column as mountains. I do want to find a vine. for the bug thing coming up. Should I just keep on going west? Is that smart? Maybe I'll hit the mountains. Sure. Okay, so here we go. Oh, found my first fort. Now, this is cool because I know for a certainty that either this is water and that's mud, or that's mud and that's water. One of the two, right? Because it could be rotated around. And I also know that there are no forts anywhere in the rest of this column or row because that said one. Now, I do get to see what my first kill a minotaur ability is. I can kill a minotaur by making a trap. I would need to have one mud, one vine, exhaust a gear that is exhaustible, and then discard it. And so when a minotaur shows up, that'll be cool to have. So yeah, the mud water thing seems good. I should be able to use my compass for that. So let's just go north and find out which of the two it is, I guess. And there's the mud. Boop. And just to show you how things stand, I have 4 out of 5 tokens for Approach the Arch, although I'm about to get a free turn from the compass. And yeah, my backpack is pretty full. My canteen is about to be 100% full, which is not great. So I think I'm definitely going to keep the wood and let the arch fail me, just so that if I stumble upon a unexpected water space, that I'll be able to hold it. All right, now this is interesting. Mud has to be next to water and a rock. So we knew that there would probably be mountains in one or both of these, but that means that that's very likely to be a water space, would be my guess. And whether you have the deluxe or basic version, the backside of these tokens, the actual resource tokens, has a question mark, so I feel like maybe that's water. I know 100% that that one is water. So let's go ahead and use the compass. So I'm going to exhaust before exploring. If I correctly guess the terrain I'm about to explore, I discard the path token, so it's not going to use up one of my turns. So, hey, this is water, which I know, again, because of the fort logic. Hey! And I am full up of water, so I don't want to find any more for a moment. Now, I could swap out the compass to bring in something else with Clark's leader ability. I could use the jar to double up a resource, which would also mean it's not in my backpack for the moment, but I don't think I need to do that yet. And then for tracking guide, if I find a resource that I really don't care about... Oh, actually, if I find a water right now, I could use tracking guide to make it a free turn, so that's not a terrible thing. By the way, this mountain peak should be on the confirmed side, but yeah, now I can say that those might be mountains as well. So where do I want to go? This has to have a wood next to it, and that can't be wood because there's already a wood in that column. So that or that need to be wood. I want to find a field to get a shelter down, but it has to be next to food, which I haven't found yet, and wood, which I have found. And food has to be diagonal to teepees. Maybe I'll go down here, maybe, and see what happens. I don't know. Sure. Oh, it's another hill, so it's a free turn. And this is saying there are no forts anywhere around here. Okay, fair enough. I was about to say now I know that there's wood here, but I already knew that because there was a wood in that column. Okay. Let's see, for the next, the consequence coming after this one, I need a skull and a vine to avoid losing a ton of water. Vine would be in the column of mountains, so I'm 100% sure it's going to be somewhere around here. In fact, let's go here. So it should be wood or maybe a vine. We'll see what we get. It is the wood. And that finishes this up. Whoops. So that's 5 of these gone. And now I can choose to spend a wood. I choose not to. And I'll lose 1 water, so I'm not full up anymore. But I get a food. Oh, so my backpack is super full. But we don't check for fatigue until... Oh, and it reminds you right here. We don't check for fatigue until the next card is revealed. So we got a little bit. What do we need? A skull and a vine. Okay. Skulls are always orthogonally or diagonally adjacent to teepees and vice versa, and teepees are always diagonal to food, which makes me feel like it wouldn't be in here because there isn't enough room. Well, I guess there technically is. You could have food, teepee, skull, or food, teepee, skull, like that. Oh, so that's it for wood here and here. There could still be a wood here technically for the water, although, it's probably not as likely. And the field is next to wood and fruit. Maybe I keep on going this way and try to find a field, which would also get me a teepee, which would also get me a skull. Sounds maybe okay. All right, let's see what happens. There's a teepee. Interesting. So when you reveal one of those spaces, you can trade any one resource or water for any other resource or water. So, maybe I should trade. I don't really need 2 food. Yeah, I don't need food for wood. I don't need wood for any of these. I could use it to build the shelter, but not both. You need 2 different things. And then I didn't talk about this yet, but you can make fire for 2 wood or 2 stone. And if I use Clark's ability to bring in a flint, I can exhaust it to build a fire for only 1 wood or 1 stone. But in any case, I don't think I need this extra wood. So sure, I'll trade a wood to them and get... Now that I found a teepee, I'm probably going to be able to find a skull without too much trouble. So maybe I'll trade for a vine. Let's go with that. Okay, there we go. I've got 2 more turns before that's coming due. Okay, so the TP has to have a skull in one of these 8 and has to have food here, 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 here. And do I know anything else? I mean, mountains are more likely to be here. How about the shelter place that I wanted? Food has to be orthogonally adjacent and wood has to be orthogonally adjacent. So, oh no, that's not possible. I was going to say the food has to be here, 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 which means there is nowhere that there could be a field here next to wood and a food. I mean, well, that's not entirely true. Like there could be, I don't know, wood right here and food here and then a field there, which would actually be totally awesome if that happened. Yes, I don't know. That doesn't actually work up that way and see what it is. Oh, that's a crud, a vine. Why'd I trade for the vine then? All right, so we're about to come due. Shoot, if I get the skull... You know what? I don't need 2 vines. I'm going to use my tracking guide. Exhaust after exploring. Do not gain the resource from exploring, so bye-bye vine. But I don't have to put this down, so I got 2 turns again. And I do have my jar to put a resource on if I'm worried about running out of space. I also can use Clark to switch in. I was thinking the flint to like build a fire, just because I know probably later I'll need at least 1 fire to kill a minotaur, and sometimes the challenge cards require it. Just things to make sure I don't get totally screwed with my backpack space, which is especially more of a worry because, remember, this one's going to give me a sample, and that one's going to give me a sample, which is going to use up space until I spend resources to get rid of them, which is terrible. All right, but I've got 2 more turns again. So I know that there's a mountain in that column. Thanks to the vine. I pretty much already knew that because the main mountain range is right there. But now, this doesn't help me at all. I know there's food here, and I still know that there's a skull here. All right, let's see if like maybe this is something. Oh, there's the food. Oh, okay. And food is, of course, super good because it keeps you from dying, but I'm also in a bad way right now. Now, by the way, something important to mention because I'm getting close. There are rewards for flipping a full column or row. Column gets you a destiny card. There's 2 face up and 1 face down. These are single-use cards that are really useful. 2 face up and the deck face down. You can pick either one of the 2 face up cards or just take a random card from the deck. Completing a row lets me discard a threat card to draw a new threat card because the threats deck is made up of 4 minotaurs and 2 random kind of like hindrances that are ongoing. So kind of minor, but, you know, long story short, I probably don't want to explore that one space until I actually need to. All right, so I got to do something, though, because after I explore again, I'm going to be, like, totally messed up backpack-wise. There's, like, a not insignificant chance that there could be a shelter space here, orthogonal, and then... Because, yeah, if there was a shelter here, the field, then there could be wood here, because there hasn't been wood in this column yet. Or if there's a shelter here, there could be wood here or here, because those columns and rows are also fine for wood. That's what I want to do. Could use Clark to bring in the mortar and pestle. Discard need 2 resources or water to gain a different resource or water and like guarantee that I get the skull. Although with all of that, maybe I just want to let the water run out, but I don't want to be fatigued. So I could still do the flint like I talked about. I could also use the jar to steal some resources and then double them up later, which would never be a bad idea for food, right? Because food you just need every day. So sure, let's use Clark to send away the tracking guide and bring in the flint. And I'm going to use that immediately with my 1 wood to build a fire for later. It just hangs out until something cares whether I have it. And then I'll also jar up the fruit. Okay, so now I have space for the sample that I'm going to be forced to take. And yeah, unless it loses a lot of water, it'll be what it'll be. So with that being the case, let's keep searching for a shelter, right? Let's try this one. Let's try this. Hey, there we go. Although I don't have the materials to build it anymore. Mike, good job. But this gives me some info, so I feel like kind of capable of figuring things out. All right, but anyway, we do not deal with the rats well. Sorry, rats. So we are losing 3 water. Ouch. And getting a stupid sample token that just fills up space, but we are not over capacity in our backpack yet. All right, now what do I need to do? I would need another mud. That's a lot. And then I would need to have the shelter built, which is going to need a skull, a wood, or a mud. I mean, oh my gosh. By the way, in most scenarios, when you find a field, you get a mushroom, which is another resource, but not in the fauna scenarios. And I can build the shelter later. I just move this big thing over here if I get the resources. So it's not like I have to be ready to build it when I find the field. I just know that it exists there now. All right, so I should be able to know more stuff here, right? So there has to be wood here, because they have to be adjacent. So if there's wood here, pretty good chance that that's water or that's water. Now the mountains are right here, so they could be stretching into here, which would make me think that like that's more likely the wood and then that's more likely the water. And I could use the wood to build the shelter. So let's try this. Hey, good, we got it. Okay, so I need the skull, which I know is going to be around that teepee. But then I need another mud. Ugh. Now mud's next to water and stone. And I'm almost sure there's going to be like water here, and then there's probably going to be rocks here. So like I have pretty good feeling that's mud, but I don't have enough time to get up there and grab it. So I might just have to lose more water to these rats, which is not good. By the way, just to note something I didn't say, technically when you're playing True Solo, they kind of recommend that you bring the medicine as a 4th gear just for free, which lets you use your character or a gear another time, which would be pretty amazing. But it's -5 points in a 2, 3, or 4-player game. Again, you notice that it's kind of meant. It doesn't count towards your gear limit. I'm getting a little worried. Maybe I should have said I took the medicine. Technically, it would have been allowed. Yeah, you know what? Let's get the medicine. I'm getting a little scared of this game. Again, that's supposed to be a little boost in True Soul. I was just sort of trying to challenge myself by not having it. So let's get back. Let's get the compass back, right? So we have time. I mean, how confident am I that that's the water and then that's the mud? I'm going to say confident. I'm going for it. Yeah, let's go. So that was a free exploration because of the compass. There we go. And then, I mean, that doesn't have to be mud, right? There's probably mountains here and there's water there. So I think there's a pretty good chance that it's mud, but it doesn't have to be. Shoot, it's a stupid fort. I mean, we need those to win, don't get me wrong. And now I know that there can't be mud here because mud has to be adjacent to mountains, and mountains are never on the exterior spaces. All right, so I know how to kill another minotaur with, oh god, 2 wood and a skull. That's a tall order, yeah. And even if you haven't found a skull space, I should find a skull space, I just realized. Because in a moment at the end of the day, if we don't have a threat card, we draw one automatically. But any of these could be a skull. Any of those could be a skull. Oh, man. So I guess I'll try like this or this. Let's try this. Oh, okay. It's another one of those. Great. So I know, yeah, I mean, whatever. It's a free turn. That's the key thing. So thanks for saving me some time. Maybe that's the skull. Let's try it out. It's water again. Okay, I mean, I like water. But yeah, now the badness is going to happen. You know, I am allowed to resolve as many free actions as I want before I actually resolve this, which I need to do because clearly I'm in a bad way with a lot of stuff here. I mean, the easiest thing to do would just be to trash one of these to get rid of that. But I need the food to not die. I'm probably about to get the minotaur, so I kind of need the mud and the vines to kill him with the trap. And then I want the wood to build the shelter soon. I could spend the water to get rid of it, but I'm losing 2 from the bugs, and then I'd be fatigued from the new stupid thing they're giving me. And I'm not going to have room for the jar food I'm about to get. Oh, no, maybe I could just do a lot of water. I mean, if I use water to get rid of that, I'm going to get a sample and lose a whole bunch more water from being fatigued. But then I'll spend a food and get 2 more food. So I'll have enough space for everything technically. And then I can spend a food to get rid of the other sample. And the big annoying thing is I cannot use free actions after resolving the challenge card, at least as far as I'm reading the rules. So I couldn't immediately get rid of the sample and not be fatigued. Oh, Lord help me. Okay, I'm going to spend 1 water to get rid of this sample. Then I'll resolve the challenge card and fail it. So I lose 2 more water. I get another sample, and then this gets flipped. We're taken off, and I'll lose another water. I don't know, man. This is bad business. Hopefully my upcoming challenge cards will not be too water dependent, although they usually are. Okay, now we go to the end of the day. Pass, you survive. Oh, I gotta, spend my food, of course. Now it's night, so I get my jarred food plus 1 more. I'm definitely going to use one of them to get rid of that sample in a second. Now, note that you don't check for fatigue again during any of this stuff. It'll be only after this next, whatever the new card ends up being, is fully resolved. Okay, if there's no monsters, here we go. I resolve or reveal a threat card. Hopefully it's a Minotaur. It's a, 4 out of 6, a 2/3 chance. Yep. Okay, so Minotaur. Place a Minotaur token on if day and explored... Oh, yeah, if we had found the skull, we would have placed them out. Or if it's a night, row the northernmost explored path with path priority. So path priority is right here on the back of the rule book. It's also how the resources are organized. So between water and fort, it makes sense that it'd be water because forts are clearly being defended, right? So this Minotaur gets put over that. So this means a few things. First of all, we can't use this space as an exploration starting point anymore. So we couldn't explore to there because we don't have a space that's orthogonally adjacent. And then also it says discard any one resource or water to explore a path in its row or column. So while they stay alive, we can't explore here or here without spending an extra resource resources to like deal with their crud. Now, this is extra annoying because, look, that's the last space in this column. So I really want to explore it to get the Destiny card, which right now would be either Weather Vane, look at the top 2 cards in the challenge deck, put one back on top and one on the bottom, or Tarp, discard to save 1 fire when you would be forced to lose a fire, or I can just get the top card. But anyway, I refresh all my gear and stuff, and I get 3 new fun challenges to deal with. Now, just a note, by the way, I can immediately kill this Minotaur as a free action on my turn. So it's not going to be too big of a deal if I'm willing to get rid of my vine and mud, which I have so much stuff in my my pack that I don't think I'll mind at all. But still, I just wanted to make sure the rules from are clear. All right, here we go. Consequence 1. We're going to have a wind storm. Build a reinforced wall. Mud and stone and 2 water. Or if we fail, we lose 3 water, so it's 2 or 3. We lose 2 wood, and we would lose a shelter if we had one. Now, if you have a fail consequence that you can't pay, like if you don't have a shelter yet, there's no like extra consequence for it. Okay, then keep the food cool. I would need a wood and a skull or a stone or water, or just lose 3 water. Oh, man, but look, if I have a fire, I get a... Oh, I don't really need food. I can have a lot of food. Okay, and then finally, a landslide. Spend a lot of water or spend a lot of water and lose a shelter. Oh, and even if I pass, I lose a shelter. I guess I'm not going to build a shelter anymore. Oh, God. 3 water and then 3 water. I can't afford that. Oh, but God, I'm losing. Yeah, see, this is what I was saying. Like, I definitely spent too much water. All right, well, this might be a quick death here, everybody. But hey, at least we got all of our stuff, right? We can swap out a gear. We got the compass, medicine to refresh something. I mean, the flint that we flipped in, but I can get something else in here. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So first, I think I do want to murder that guy with the make a trap one. And I'll exhaust the flint. I shouldn't need any fire anytime soon. Spend my vine and mud. Yay, we killed our first of 3 minotaurs. It's a little silver lining in this pile of crud here. Okay, I want to explore here to get a Destiny card, but I have no idea what it is. I mean, it could be more wood, but yeah, whatever. Let's just flip it. Oh, it's a hill, so it's a free exploration. Nice. And gosh, these are all giving me like kind of redundant information. So there has to be one more fort somewhere, and I know a lot of places that it's not. But I have completed a column, so I get a Destiny card. Neither of these like directly helped me in the moment, so I'm going to draw from the top. All right, and I get Make Ally. Gain any 1 resource or water that you already have. I might just use that for water, y'all. Well, I can wait for a little bit and see what happens, but I still have 3 turns before the windstorm. I would lose my wood. I'm not going to have a shelter, but I don't have mud and stone, and I'd be losing 2 water anyway. If I could, so I could just find a way to use my wood for something else, even just throwing away that sample. It's really just like an extra water for failing, which isn't that terrible. But then I'm losing so much water. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I forgot. Where do these things have to be? Mud and water on either side. So it's like 99% sure that that's mud. And then if that's mud, it needs to be next to rock, which it already is from the mountain. Is this like the tiniest mountain ever, by the way? It needs to be next to rock. And then it also needs to be next to more water, which means one of those 2 is probably going to be... Wait, hold on. Did I mess this up? No, that's the mud. So yeah, one of those 2 almost surely needs to be water. And I need water badly here. So yeah, let's go. I'm going to use the compass because that literally has to be mud. And boom, good, it was. Okay. Remember, I am going to, like, once the challenge card comes up, probably use the food to get rid of that because I have lots of ways to get food. I don't need this much at the moment. All right, now mud has to be next to water and mountain. It's already next to mountain, I think. And water has to be next to wood. So if the water was here, it couldn't have a wood there because it's already one in the column. It could have a wood there. If the water was here, it could have the wood there or there. But, I mean, the mountain has to be kind of creeping around here. I feel like that's more likely to be the water. Although I'm not using the compass right now. So, okay, it is. Cool. Okay. That was my first actual sun, by the way, thanks to the free action from the compass. Now, I don't want more wood. Like, I actively don't, because I'm going to lose it if I just don't deal with the windstorm. Although, actually, I could definitely get stone to lose less. Yeah, I like that, actually, because I don't need the mud for anything special at the moment, do I? No, I definitely don't. So here, in fact, let's use the medicine to refresh the compass and go to the mountain peak, because you can still explore this, even though you've known it's there for the entire game. Hey, look, it's a mountain peak. But that turn doesn't count, and I get stone. And that means now I'll be able to do the mud and stone and 2 water instead of 3, and I'll get a wood. Okay, let's, just to simplify things, let's go ahead and spend the food to get rid of, yeah, it's fine, we'll do it. Technically, I could wait until things are about to come due, but I think we're fine. All right, so I've got the next challenge handled. And then, God, I really want to get this one. So I need the skull. I still kind of know where the skull is, right? There's only 2 spaces left that it could be next to that first teepee. And I got wood. Oh, no, I will have wood. I will have wood. I'll actually have extra wood. So should I still go skull hunting? Maybe? Well, the next thing needs a skull or stone. I'd really rather keep the skull to kill the spear that I'll need from finding the minotaur, most likely. So skull needs to be here, here, or here. Are there any other rules related to skulls? Besides if they need to be next to... No, there's nothing. Okay. Now, by the way, a vine being here means that there's 100% certainty that there is a mountain in this column, which at this point would have to be like that, if it kind of creeps down like that, or that. So yeah, I know I can get stone. Okay. So maybe let's go ahead and get the stone that this column needs and get closer to finishing things up, because once I bring out the minotaur, it's going to mess up my exploration. Okay, so there we go. Now, by the way, these are also a red space, kind of like the minotaur was, so you can't explore from the mountain. Like, I couldn't go from here to here right now. I'd have to, like, work my way around it. But I still get the stone from it, which is for the stone or skull here. So I'm good to go on this one, and I'm going to get food for my fire. That's my second of those, by the way. Don't know what to do with my jar yet, and the landslide is just some trash. Oh gosh, by the way, this is -3 water and then 2 more of whatever you want, water or other resources. You know, I forgot about this item. I'm just thinking of maybe what to use Clark on. Swap a face-up challenge card with another challenge card. Neither can have any path tokens on them. So you can either swap the position of 2 challenge cards that don't have tokens yet, or you can swap with the face-up one. Oh, but that just means that landslide would be the first one next time. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how I can get a shelter. But for now, I'm not going to worry about it. All right, now I'm about to be in a tight spot resource-wise if I gain anything more from my last turn. So what do I do? All right, so I still know this or this needs to be wood. Don't really know anything about... what do I know about this? I don't know. It could be another vine. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. And then this or that could be the skull, which I wouldn't even be able to hold right now. Oh, what? I think that was water? Ooh, because of the mud. Let's go here and maybe get some more water. That seems like a lovely thing to do. And it was more water. Yay. Because water is not going to overflow my backpack. All right, so that is 3. We can do free actions, but I don't think I need to, because I'm going to spend a rock and mud, leaving me 1 free space, and then I'll get a wood, which will fill the 1 free space. Yeah, okay, so we'll just go ahead and deal with this. We're going to build a reinforced wall, mud and stone, and 2 water instead of 3. I'm not dead yet. And then I get another wood for passing. And then here I've got the stone, I've got a wood, I've got a water, and I'll get a food. Okay, cool. This one is a mess. Oh my gosh. I need to pass it, right? 2 water sucks, but 3 water and 2 other things is worse, and then I'll get a stone at least. Which means though I need to find a skull. Still know kind of where it is. I've got the wood for both. And then it's just more water. Yeah. All right, so even though it's a bummer to get a minotaur, I think I just want to do it, right? Skull, something, maybe wood. I do need more wood. And actually, yeah, I guess wood is fine. So let's go here and see if it's wood. Oh, it's a vine. I don't need that at all. But I don't have that, dang it, that one thing that lets me discard a resource I just found to skip it as its turn. What can I do with a vine, man? Nothing for them. Nothing for nothing. Jeez. Well, at least it brings me closer to getting this column for another bonus card. But now I know that's wood with 100% certainty, because it has to be next to the water, which means that nothing else here is wood. Oh, this has to be wood as well. So that can't be the, because it's next to water. So that can't be the skull. So the skull has to be that or that. Whatever, let's try this one out. There it is. All right, so I get the skull. Now I can do free actions before I throw stuff away. So I'm going to need the skull for that. I've got the 2 woods for both. I've got the stone and the wood. I'm about to get a food, so I guess I'll just throw away the vine. What a waste, man. Okay, so I'm going to keep the food cold. So that. I'm building a shovel and digging a pit and 1 water. And then, because I passed, I get the food, and then I got to check for the fatigue. And I'm just going to throw away the vine. Get out of here, vine. I don't want to lose any more water. Now, in 3 turns, I've got everything. I'm just going to still be super duper out of water. Oh, whoops, and I didn't even resolve the stupid skull. See what threat I get. Oh, no, it's not a minotaur? Chase. Place this card over any gained Destiny cards you own. Future Destiny cards you gain go under Chase. You cannot use Destiny cards until Chase is removed, and I got to kill a monster to get rid of Chase. Great. Ooh, but wait a second. When I complete a row or column, a row, which I did. I get to discard a threat card and draw a new threat card. Now, I looked through the rulebook, and I see no indication of what the order operations here yet. Like, do I resolve this fully, and then I can do this? I'm going to say yes and discard that threat card, but yeah, the rulebook does not make it as clear as I would like. And okay, there's a Minotaur, which, is kind of what we wanted. And this one goes right on the skull. Whoops, let me turn it so it's harder to explore in those rows or columns now. But I can kill him with, 2 wood and a skull. I need those things. All right, so now I've got 3 days. I can go here for wood. I don't want to go here because it'd be the Minotaur. If I go here, I get another Destiny card, but I don't really know what that is. It's actually a decent chance that it's stone, which I don't need at all at the moment. And I really need more water. I still have my jar, by the way, and Clark. Is there anything good for me to bring in with Clark? I could bring back in the tracking guide. I wish I had had that for that stupid vine space. Yeah, I guess that's the best option. I'll switch back out the flint because I don't think I'm going to need fire anytime soon. So with that piano, let's maybe go here. See what it is. It's a rock, and I really don't need it. So I'm going to go ahead and use the tracking guide. I just want to finish this column, and then I could use the wood. So I'll get the wood. Although, should I wait and use my compass since that's a sure thing? Oh, I know that's a sure thing wood as well. All right. Wait, now why do I want all this wood? Do I need Oh, I want to make a spear to kill the second Minotaur, right? Which I could do now, but then I wouldn't have the resources I need to actually win. All right, so I'll get the top card, Rusty Axe. When you gain a wood from exploring, gain another wood. Oh, it's actually good for me having to make this spear, isn't it? Okay, I got a plan here. I'm going to use my ally. Remember, I can get any resource I already have to get another skull, because those seem to be the thing that is more highly in demand. Then I'm going to go ahead and right now use Make a Spear and kill that second Minotaur, 2 out of 3. So 1 more and I win immediately. Let's go. And then I'm going to go explore that wood I know about and use the Rusty Axe because I need to get a wood back for this. So sure, that'll be my second turn out of 3. Talk about this sure wood because, okay, and I'll use that to get 2 wood. And actually, now that I'm mentioning it, why do I need a second wood? I'm not entirely sure, but I got room for it, so it's okay. And actually, I got room for 1 more thing, so I'm going to lose 2. So for the final action, what do I want to do? I mean, I'm still in dire straits with water. There's a decent chance that, there's some more water over here. Oh, by the way, wood. There's almost no wood left, which is good to know. I do need the last fort, which can't be here, could be somewhere in this column. Did I finish? Oh, I'm about to Oh, no, I have not finished another column, but I am very close. Although Destiny cards so far they've been pretty good, but they could be hit or miss. Oh, by the way, I already killed the Minotaur, which means I'm going to draw another card for not having a monster at the end of the turn. Although that's kind of a good thing because I need to keep killing them, but I need to find the other fort. I really need to find the other fort. So, I feel like it's going to be in this column. Maybe let's start building up this way. Sure. Oh my God, it's a wood. I was about to do the stupid jar, but I don't want more wood in my jar. Okay. So yeah, I got to do this before I do anything else. Let's get a wood in there. All right. Because I can't put the skull in. I don't really want to put the food in. And I guess I could use wood for shelter or fire if I ever need more of that. In some scenarios, you need a ton of those, like the fire specifically. Okay, so I am doing the landslide. Moving to a safe area. My water is looking a little bit empty. I don't have a shelter to lose, and I do get a rock that I didn't want. Then that's done. All right, and then I have a food to eat. I do have to draw a threat card. It's not a Minotaur. Well, if I finish a row, which I'm close to doing in a few spots, I could discard this. You cannot kill monsters while this card is in play. Yeah, that sucks. And how to remove, I need to have shelter and fire. Yeah, we'll discard that card for a row in a second for sure. And then I think both of these are Minotaurs, right? Yeah, because there's only 2 misfortunes. So I'll be sure to know, but I haven't found the last fort. Whatever. Refresh all gears and cards. Yep. Oh, and I get my double up wood that I don't necessarily need from the jar. And I get 3 new challenge cards. Okay, strong wind. Build a strong shelter. Stone and the vines I thought I would never need, and water. And then, if I have a place to put the shelter, I get it for free. It's actually really nice. But if I fail, I lose a fire, which I would actually lose. I lose too much water. I would lose a shelter if I had it, and I would get a sample, which is annoying. Okay, and then School of Fish. 2 water and a vine and that to get some food. And then Sweltering Heat. A water and a mud. That's actually easier. And if I have a shelter, I would get a Destiny card. Ah, man. Well, that one's shorter, though. Oh, my gosh, y'all. So I can't even survive this one unless I get more water. But if I do get more water, maybe just hunt for the other fort, maybe I have a chance. Oh, but I also need to finish a row to discard that. I can use these to maybe get some free searches. This is going to be close. All right, so the row I can most easily finish is this one, but I know there's not a fort there. Oh, no, I guess this row I could also finish, but I don't need stone for... Oh, I do need stone and a vine, actually, for that first thing, and then I wouldn't need more water. Now, there has to be at least one vine in every spot with stone and vice versa. Oh, which means this has to be a vine, or that has to be a vine? I mean, it's like 99% sure that that's going to be rock, maybe? But like this almost certainly needs to be a vine, I think. Okay, you know what? Let's use the compass. Say it's a vine. Just let's freaking go. All right, so now that first thing's actually not too bad. I need to get the stone. What was I going to do to get the stone? All right, explore this and then this to get a new thing. So wait, should I reuse? Does this have to be? It has to be. Oh, no. It could be a stone because there's mud there, but it's not 100%. Well, whatever, I'm doing it. Medicine to get the compass back, and then using the compass, I'm saying that is a rock. Because there has to be rock next to this, and I don't know. Okay, good. Okay, so that's another free turn, and I've now got all the resources I need to do that. But I need to find... I mean, I got a lot of stuff to, like, kill the final Minotaur if I can just... I can switch this frostbite out for the Minotaur, but I need to find another stupid... Oh, right. I forgot about the thing. It shows me where they can be. Okay. So, oh, wait, did I just finish something? I just finished a column. Yeah, I did just finish a column. I didn't finish a row yet, but I did finish a column. And y'all some trash. Actually, Weather Vane might have been good. Show of Forts. When a TP is found, take trade one resource or water for any other 2 resources or water. Oh, so I could like get rid of one of my extra woods or something for a bunch of water. That's amazing if I find a TP. But yeah, I should be able to logic this out a little bit better. Okay. So I know there's no fort here. I know there's no fort here. Forts have to be opposite water and mud. So there couldn't be one here. There couldn't be one. Actually, mud, fort, water. Mud, fort, water. If there was water here, there would have to be wood next to it, though. And all these columns are dead for wood. So no. Could there be a fort here? Water, fort, mud. Mud has to be next to water, which it easily could be. And next to a mountain. Could this mountain go over there? Well, no. If the mountain was here and the water was here, that could be mud. That could be a fort. That's possible. Oh, wait, no. There's no freaking forts in this column. Okay. So that can't be a fort. This can't be a fort. That can't be a fort. This can't be a fort. So the last fort has to be in this column. And it can't be here and it can't be here. Okay. So... If it can't be here, definitely can't be here. Well, I guess it could be here. Because there could be water and then... No, there can't be wood anywhere around here. We've totally eliminated wood. Okay, so there can't be water. There can't be water literally anywhere in these existing areas. Oh, except there. So that could be... No, it can't be a fort. Jesus. Okay. So I think like this or this need to be the last fort, right? And it can't be... Well, could it be this? Could this have water there? No. Could it have water there from wood here? The last wood... Oh, the last wood has to be here, right? Yes, indeed. Okay, because that's the last row and column matchup. So if that's wood, then some of these need to be water. If that was water, there's nowhere for the fort to be. If that's water, fort mud, which would be next to rock and water. So I think that's got to be mud. I'll put a question mark. I think that's got to be mud. And I think that's got to be the fort. I think that's got to be water. Okay. Feeling like pretty sure about this. Let's go ahead and try. We got a lot of time at the moment. Let's say, we don't have to say anything, but okay. Yeah, Mike. Okay, that gets me my last kill, a Minotaur. I need a Destiny card, which I have. I have the Show of Force card. I didn't use that yet. I need a food, which I have. I need, I need water. I've got 2 turns. Oh, no, or 3 with the tracking guide. I got, yeah. I got to find a Minotaur. Well, I don't need to find a Minotaur. I can just, whatchamacallit? I could finish this row, switch. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so we're going here. I don't even know what this is. It's more water. I'll definitely take that. And I think we should lock in the victory right now, right? I think. I'm at 2 out of 3, by the way. Because since we finished a row, I can discard the frostbite to draw a Minotaur. And if it's in day... Put it on... Oh, no, a row reward. If it's night, a row reward. Oh, okay, they're each different. Westernmost explored path with path priority. It doesn't matter. I'm going to kill him. But yeah, he would go over the food here. But then we use Show of Force and food and water. Let's go, man. I would have survived that card, but I could not have survived today. I don't think. I was way too low on water. All right, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now I get a score based on like how much time was left. So I add up the time number of each card that didn't get resolved, which means that this one still counts, plus all the ones still in the deck. Jeez. It's 8, 11, 14, 17, 20, 25. All right, not quite the best, but that was really good, I think. I mean, besides my flirting with death, and I got lucky on some, that make ally card to get the skull was key. Actually, the rest of the axe didn't matter almost at all, but the other thing was awesome. But whew, made it. Yeah, we uncovered a lot of stuff. I mean, again, I'm sure of those two, which means that would have to be a mountain. And that means that has to be wood. So yeah, this was cool. I felt good about that final deduction at the end. I probably could have made a lot of those deductions earlier with the information I already had, but so it goes. Let's see. I guess one of these would have had to been a vine if that had to be a rock. But anyway, sorry, I was getting into the weeds of the logic. That is Core of Discovery. And I'll be having a review of this one in a week or two. I mean, if you can't tell, it's going to be super positive. I adore this game. But yeah, that was fun. Thanks for watching, everybody. And a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Pedro Lucas, Nick Skeen, Miles, Wayne Scott, and Steve Wren. We'll see you at the next stop.